heroes like Dazzle already on the board, it just mitigates your effectivity to find kills early on. They have to go for the Phoenix.
The other thing that I like is I like mobility against the Spectre now a lot more, because remember that they nerfed the radius on the Desolate. So as long as you have these heroes that are going to be able to play across the fight, are going to be able to use things like dive, reposition themselves, it's a lot easier now to cut down on the damage output of that.
Next, we do see the attack speed of Lena to deal with that egg, but immediately new Tiny as well, because the Avalanche change makes this a very different hero.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of this hero. I think it's really strong here. I think it's particularly against the Lena.
I agree, because I think the biggest thing to assess here is, while you can like Yules in the middle of an Avalanche, the big difference that we kind of nerfed to Tiny indirectly is that with the Avalanche change, you can actually beat KB when you get Avalanche now. But look at their side, right? Lena might eventually be able to beat KB. Spectre is not going to build one, and Centaur most definitely won't either.
See, I actually, you say that, and I think you're right here. I think, mark my words, as this patch goes on, I think you're going to see games where Spectre goes like quad Wraithband treads BKB. I think you are going to see that, at least not often. But the power of the stat items on those heroes is so big that when you have the right ensemble around them, when you have like an ogre or something, I think Spectre.
Quite possibly. Dazzle,
I don't think you don't have like a steroid hero here to do that. So Spectre's not going to do that in this game.
I mean, but the lane's not bad.
I think you're going to see that in the patch.
I think the lane's not bad here for NIP, right? Spectre Dazzle combo, because the poison touch with the dagger, you can run people down and do a lot of damage.
Now that's kind of a thing we don't talk about in Spectre drafts nearly enough, is when you look at the three heroes around him in the draft, you're not worried about the Spectre getting abused in lane like you would ordinarily. Lena is such a strong, mid lane lockdown. They can't, again, worth saying, probably not going to happen here, but they have run this Lena in the support role. You could still see Dazzle Core. Love the Juggernaut, though. This is, again, the Final Tribe going back to Frost's ultimate comfort hero and showing the same kind of potential for early push that nearly knocked them out of the first game and that convincingly won them the second.
Definitely a hero that can deal with what's appearing in a piece side so far. Of course, you use Fury in lane against Centaur, and then when you get late game, this is the type of hero that can build into a Silver Age and justify against the Spectre. What is the response, though?
You have a lot on the table here, and I think you use some of your reserve time to talk about it, because you can still bump Dazzle into a core. You could bump Centaur back into a support. If you want to pick up another offlaner here, the Lena could still be a support. You got a lot of options on the table, and you are still worried. This is a tempo lineup. The Final Tribe have all their cards on the table. You know how they're going to play this game. They have ridiculous potential with push and team fight here, but you have strong lanes, and it's up to you to just decide what's the tempo
that this laner can play as a support. Of course, like I was talking about, the potential threat that you give to a Juggernaut in that lane, but you can, of course, rotate. You've got a stun, which, with the amount of slows you've got, can be pretty reliable. There is the crux of both of these guys having unreliable stuns, and that someone can move away in time from Stomp or Light Strike Array.
Yeah, it's true, but again, you know, the threat of if they get that combo in on you, you're going to die is enough to make you play carefully, even if it's not completely reliable.
I think that's the big thing, is how often is Frost going to be forced to Blade Fury when they don't even do anything?
Right. It's really about it really is, in so many of these duel lanes, about being able to dictate the enemy core's position relative to the creeper. You know, if you can keep that enemy core back off the creep wave, or at least, you know, not able to stand with the melee creeps to CS, that's really significant, especially when you're talking about a hero like Juggernaut.
Especially considering that actually Inkswell, the changes to it don't make it the best thing for defensive maneuvers away. Sure, the move speed's nice, but you want to be using that aggressively, especially with the cooldown on it at the start.
The good stuff.
All right, once again, Jonas, this is disturbing parallel too. Jonas is going to forced to blow a lot of his regen, although the skewer was very nice there. He'll get at least a little bit of a trade with it.
Got a little bit of vengeance coming out. He didn't get the rune though, so it's 2 apiece here in the end. Arrow just arriving to make sure there's more harassment going out to NIP.
They're both at a regen.
Oh, they're going to even up a little bit actually on Dace.
Okay.
Still, it's a slight win for NIP, but they minimize the loss there in that scenario. I think this is kind of the crux, is if you actually burn your regen first against the Dazzle, what the hell do you do?
You cry.
Like Arrow right now.
You have a nice long walk back to base to think about your life choices.
Mid wants that Courier too much. After all, you know, they should just call it the Mid Aurea or something. To rename the Courier, because it's all about mid now.
Oh, look at this first couple of waves here by Chessie. Chessie is absolutely destroying in the middle. And this is, you know, it's not quite as significant as when you were talking about the Medusa getting off that start the last game. 5 and 4 at a minute in.
Yep. And
okay, Fata just needed that range creep. Oh my god.
This is getting a little bit rough. He actually has got one of the completed nulls coming out to him now on the Courier. So his damage will increase. And remember, Tiny doesn't have any armor, but as long as he keeps the creep wave here, he will get that additional armor from the tower.
And again, it's important to say for our viewers that a lot of people watching are going to be like, well, what are you? You're making a lot out of these first couple waves. If you listen to how the top pros talk about lanes, that is how they talk about lanes. Those early CS advantages are so significant at this level.
Era forced to use his Fairy Fire just to stay alive as PPD gets super aggressive. And I think you're right. It's actually more so than before. Just because they got rid of the XP element of denying, it doesn't change the outcome, because as we've talked about plenty of times, the tempo of the game is accelerated. The finish times have accelerated. The game transitions much quicker. All in all, look at this already. There is an XP advantage coming out from Chessie. In fact, there's half a level between him and Fada.
Yeah, that's a big... The CS gap has closed a little bit with Fata able to get that null tally out, but Chessie's going to should have a nice advantage in this lane. The wave is not in a bad place here.
I think the way this is going to play out is Chessie's going to try and actually just force Fada out on regen alone, because he has got a bottle coming out, but the difference is because of these nulls that Fada's going to be building, he can actually fight back against Chessie. And it's odd to say this at just 3 minutes in, the Necrophos has more last hits than a Tiny. It's weird to say that about any lane with a Tiny in.
That's okay. I mean, the deny disparity still does matter, although a little bit less fast. But I think at least in the early going here, TFT have to be pretty happy with these fairly even, because I thought the lanes were going to be a little bit scarier here in the first 3 to 5 minutes by NIP, and it doesn't look like that gap is going to be.
The thing I would say, Alan, is we have to remind ourselves now that there are a lot of denies, but when we look at the net worth, there's already an advantage for Fada. And of course, because of the XP difference not being so drastic anymore, I will agree that Tiny is doing well and that this guy will have more kill potential than the Necrophos, but you pick this hero to win the lane convincingly.
And the other thing that happens though is that because Necrophos is the natural multiple stat item builder, right? He recovers in a relative sense. He recovers in this lane. Like, he's going to build the multiple null talismans and have them online. Tiny is not necessarily always going to go like double bracer or something like that. So once the Necros has those multiple nulls online, he's able to come back in that lane so much faster than he was.
Regeneration.
Absolutely. And, well, will even find a regen rune, which will make Tiny very sad. He has an empty bottle, and that would have been a big help in this lane. Focus a lot in the mid lane, but what about the outer lane so far? Because I'm looking at it, and Spectre is doing better than Magnus is. Because, actually, Magnus is never getting any assistance from Phoenix due to PPD's movements.
Yeah, I think PPD, and that's just the value of the Dazzle, right? The Dazzle, the zoning potential here from the Dazzle, when you get level 3 and you get 2 points in Poison Touch and 1 point in the Shadow Wave, you know, you have a lot of zoning potential. You have the ability to control the creep equilibrium really well, get some early damage on that opposing tower if you want to. Yeah, no, this is just this is what we were talking about, where the priority for a lot of the priority for this NIP draft was just to give 33 an easier game. And he has a much easier game right now compared to the Magnus.
Oh, 33. Speaking of it, it just got harder though.
Caster curse.
The Fairy Fire though will walk it off, and that means they get the runes because they use the Blade Fury to try and find that kill. Caster's Curse, not entirely true here, Alan.
Okay, all right. I'm down. That's all 4 bounty runes, and look at that net worth. Look at that net worth lead change.
It's a little bit worrying because this is kind of a preview of things, right? If you can't kill him with that combo there, you're never going to kill this center.
Yeah, and Magnus now is going to have his Soul Ring online, so he's going to be able to sustain CS in that lane as well as dip into the secondary jungle here for a little bit of a bonus. His life is his game now becomes a lot easier because he survived that scary first 5 minutes.
There is a problem though. If you look at his skill build, it's not going to be great usage of the Soul Ring in terms of shockwave value because of course he's only got 1 point in there. He's actually maxing out in power first.
That's okay. That's okay. And again, it's Magnus Jug, man. That's kind of how you have to do this if this is your strat.
That's a fair point. You need to empower him as much as possible. Your Jug is definitely, it feels like your win condition this game. Tiny, you're hoping will make that space in the mid game. But like we said, we haven't really seen much Tiny in the new patch, so it's yet to be seen how effective the new Tiny Avalanche is compared to the old one.
Yeah, and in a situation where I thought that the lanes were going to be a lot more favorable to 33, I mean, got to be said that Magnus is actually a little bit better.
And actually, he's harassing on a PPD here. The skewer through misses. PPD salving up in front of his very eyes. And Handsome fan. He's going to turn around and fight now, but it's too late. He's going to go down. First blood. Finally gets drawn.
To the Spectre, level 5 in lane. That level 2 Phoenix of Era is just kind of going up here.
And that's the other thing as well. When you compare Dazzle versus Phoenix, which one can actually handle not having levels better? Dazzle's a huge advantage.
I mean, Phoenix is arguably the most level dependent support in the game, especially when you talk about the importance of getting to level 12, but even early on.
Now, all your spells are pretty useful, and actually you need them all to really get some serious kill potential. Well, those eggs, even level 1 egg, it's a big difference. An extra target in the fight.
This is a miserable game. I mean, you just hit level 3 at 7 minutes. That
half the net worth as well.
Good old magic book cannot come nearly soon enough.
He's also got half the net worth of PPD. PPD is just getting around the map. He's doing some good D wards. A Chessie, whoa! Immediately tosses far away. He's like, I'm not playing with that. I mean, you can't blame him here. With a poison touch on him,
son.
He would have died, most definitely. Meanwhile, bot, so you're going to die, and Centaur a little bit of trouble. The Horn's going to come in, though. Can he get rid of the Phantom's Embrace? Yes! They get it in time. The turnaround Handskin might be going down. Ace is going to run through, and he should clean sweep this up. The Fairy Fire is not enough to keep the Grimstroke alive.
And that's... Again, you know, when you talk about the significance of the laning phase, that Spectre getting to level 6 before the Juggernaut ends up being hugely significant there.
Just watching top as a level 4 support is kiting and dealing more damage than the level 6 core. Dazzle, folks.
Wow.
I mean, Spectre's not here. Someone's got to do the business and show your Handsome fan who's in charge.
It's fine. Game is balanced.
It's fine. It's only 2 Wraith Bands on this Spectre. I'm sure we'll stop there. I mean, he might... Like, I'm trying to think where he wants to go next. Yasha's not bad. I've seen some Blade Mail pickups in these scenarios. I mean, but it's not great.
You could just buy 2 more Wraith.
That is an option too. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Phantom's Embrace proving not very useful. People need to get over that spell. It only works well when you've got Weaver as well.
You do have Omni Slash, but level 1 on this Jug. Don't really have the support. I mean, Era just feels useless. Like, what is he supposed to do?
He just walks around looking for a purpose. And Chessie's down here as well. They really want to make a kill happen. I'm not sure if Frost can kill without Chessie here. Maybe if he had 2 more Wraith Bands. Or 3, you know. Depends how close to the line you want to be here. Oh,
yeah, this is actually sick. They're giving Dazzle solo.
Oh, the Inkswell. Look at this. 33. They move in the Phantom's race to make sure the Storm doesn't come out. Nomi Slash is going to be there. They'll find the kill on Doom. They can't find the bonus one, though. And that's 4 heroes just for that Centaur kill.
They actually really needed that kill, though, because the supports on TFT, in another couple of minutes, those supports were going to be so badly under level. But that gets Grimstroke to level 5, it gets Era to level 4. All of a sudden, you're not nearly as... And they're going to go ahead and get the kill on the Dazzle that had been CSing.
Yeah, but look at this. Jansen fan. This save comes in. Fada was farming the jungle. He wanted that kill so bad. Yeah.
That is correct, by the way. That is correct. That's
because of the new
spawn. When you get Reaper sides, you absolutely buy back there. I completely agree with that.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been talking about this for a while. Like, most people don't seem to respect it enough. Is the thing that makes Necrophos still an absurd hero. Right? I know they like to talk about stats just as being insane, but just think about, it's been in this game so long, we've kind of become tempered to it. Is this hero that interferes with your respawn time? Especially this early on.
Stampede used there.
Yeah, they get the kill on the Hanskin, and in return, Sax are trying to run this off. The Blade Fury is close enough. Just the tip will be enough. But yeah, I think you're right in that you have to equate the amount of XP and gold you're missing out on versus the cost of buying back. And those extra 15 seconds are at least one.
Continue leveling at this, especially when you've run this maximum power build, right? To boost up your Juggernaut, you need those other skill points to play with.
But more importantly, he needs you as well, as you just saw from the power. Jug needs this boon. He needs a way to actually accelerate forward, because you look at the net worth right now, Ace is still ahead of him.
Yeah. Yeah, this is starting to get scary.
Oh, good lord.
You need to be at least at parity with your heroes, right? You're the ones that need to be taking over the mid game, and you're starting to fall behind this Necrophos Inspector.
Speaking of that Necrophos, he might be having a gank come in favor of him in this lane, as they're circling on Chessie. Tiny's a tanky boy, but with 3 heroes here, that should be an easy cleaning.
Yeah, Tiny's got 2 Wraith.
There we go. Avalanche comes out. Fada just trying to move forward. Spectre's going to be there with a horn. The toss back. Buys him a little bit of time. Light Striker Ray does just about connect with the tip, though. They'll be able to find the kill. Omni Slash used again. Gets the kill in return on the Lina. Fada needs to Ghost Route, but there's a Blade Fury. And look at the heals coming out. It's going to be fine. Maybe a little bit too early in the Shallow Grave. Now the Phantom's race going on to 2. They need to get rid of it quickly. The egg does get committed as well.
Nice
and it's beautifully done. They'll find both kills. Double kill for Era as the burns just overwhelm them.
Absolutely massive there for TFT. That is what they needed. The farming cores on the other side were opening up a bit of a gap there, but 3 kills, including 1 onto that high value target in the Necrophos. They're going to get at least 50% damage on the mid tier 1 tower. That was what TFT needed to happen to stay in.
Yep, absolutely. And well, the Spectre tried to show off that fancy new Mask of Madness. Didn't really have the impact you're looking for out of the first horn. But you can't really put that down to them doing something wrong, which was fantastic done by TFT to react. And as you said, that egg perfectly placed to make sure that they couldn't run away and they couldn't kill it either.
Yeah, that's one of the better level 1 eggs that you're going to see. And I just can't emphasize enough, as a result of the engagement down bottom and now the 2 kills coming in mid, Era is now sitting pretty at level 7. Right? I mean, he's now past Dazzle, who had about 2 minutes of free farm in that lane top.
Well, let's focus on this correctly. Both of those supports are past both supports on the side of NIP off the back of that fight.
Yeah. That is so significant at this point in the game. I mean, you are relying so strongly on the kind of this wombo combo team fights with the Grimstroke abilities, interacting with the ultimates coming out. That's if you're under level, just none of that matters.
Backs are just scouting out, so they're safe to push on this bot tower. Although they're really not pushing fast. When they clear waves fast, I'll give you that much. But in terms of hitting the tower, they can't get rid of that tier 1. And I'm worried about the acceleration of gold that's going to come up from towers, because I think TFT have a much easier job approaching these towers and taking them.
I mean, Spectre is still like, anytime you're playing a Spectre and you're at net worth parity at this point in the game, though, you feel pretty good.
Yeah, you're going to be happy. But I think it's like, this is the acceleration of gold that's going to come out as these towers fall, and as you lose places that you can farm safely. That's the only concern I see right now. It's like, I am watching, don't get me wrong, all right, Alan, after the Deucer last game, We've learned our lesson, all right? You don't doubt these late game carries by the 25-minute mark doing something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're not nearly in the same situation, and I don't think, you know, Spectre is not a hero that can just build stat items and become ridiculously broken like Medusa can. But yeah, I just think that against a pushing lineup, you know, you still have your towers standing. Your tier 1 mid is at 50% health, which is fine. You got to feel pretty good based on where you are in the game. Yes, you could have been much farther ahead if those two engagements hadn't gone against you. But as NIP, you've still come out of the first 15 minutes here doing what you needed to do.
Absolutely, and going that mid game, like we said before, the focus is definitely on Tiny. You can argue Necrophos's impact once you get that level 2 Cypher, especially. So what happened with just a level 1, there was a buyback coming out. If you find Magnus again, you force him to buy back again. It's a pretty painful scenario for him.
So I mean, the big thing right now is to look at like where are the next power spikes gonna come from, right? Because Magnus just got his blink dagger, which is really nice.
No, he didn't.
Tiny is about to have his blink.
Alan, he didn't go for the blink.
What?
He went for the Vlads.
Wait, I thought I saw you. Oh man.
Nope, he changed his mind last second. He said, okay, this is all about Juggernaut. I'm gonna path the way from the win.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right. All right. He knows Tiny's about to have blink.
Yeah, you don't have to do the initiation. In fact, you can hold them in place long enough for the Avalanche that Johannes fan can casually walk over an RP.
I think I'm on board with it.
It's weird because of the new way the Avalanche works. It lasts long enough unless NIP builds mobility like 4-staffs. How the hell do you save them from an RP that is just this big Rhinoceros slowly walking in and just running you down? Or Magnosaurus, rather.
Well, and the other thing is that NIP's initiation is a little bit weak, right? You're going to have, you know, the Centaur is the blink carrier, but again, you got that half-second animation on the hoof stomp where his blink initiation is a little bit less scary. And again, you know, with the sustain coming out from that Vlad, the S and Y and power on the Juggernaut, you're going to roach fairly quickly. The lanes are in your favor.
But look at this. NIP know what's up. They can get there in time as well.
The play here.
PPD leading the way. Smoke break. Stampede coming in the horn there as well. Stomp kicks. Let's see the play through out time. But no, they're going to go for this. Laguna already being thrown out. It's not enough just yet. The RP to turn around the Avalanche. They'll get rid of Leader and they'll get rid of Necrophos. They're getting low. Tiny's going to go down the back foot.
No.
Meanwhile, Frost cleans up another kill. And it looks like NIP.
No mana for his egg. Aaron was out of mana for his egg in that fight.
Buybacks will come out, a messy fight, but NIP, they make sure they come out on top because their Spectre's still standing. And yes, your Juggernaut's full HP, but he's got no Omni Slash to work with now.
Oh god, that fight could have been so different.
Middle tower is under attack.
I didn't see whether he cast a spell or what happened there, but Era had egg up and he didn't have mana to use.
I'm trying to work it out myself. I think he may use Fire Spirit to try and stop the Haunt from being that impactful. But as a result, yeah, he didn't have the mana anymore.
And they're going to finish up the Roche, and with the Tiny down. Oh, I don't know about
Storm.
this.
They call out Janssen fan. The Scythe is down. You're going to buy back again this time. 90 seconds on the sideline. And meanwhile, they will find PPD in response. Moving in. Phantom Sprays coming out. 33 needs to back away. The Stomp is there. They're going to turn around. Playthrough coming out. Frost in the meantime. Father standing his ground at the front line. Still has the Ghost Shroud to work with. Toss across. Says go on. Frost clean them all up. There's the Light Strike Array coming through. Is there enough for Laguna? No. Frost is going to live. Runs away from Father. And now Mask of Madness Ace. He smells blood in the water. But can this shark run it down? Might be able to. Spin's going to come out. Frost. He's just being right-clicked here. Ace is so close yet so far to finish this kill. Both having Yasha makes it impossible. And there's a toss avalanche coming through. Ace is going to get low. Chessie, if he can actually hit once more, move past the creep wave. Blink's coming off cooldown. He can actually go for this if he wants to. He decides against it though.
No. That's exactly. It's funny too because that's exactly what NIP wanted to happen. That was a calculated bait from them, but Frost was in pretty good position. He got a nice crit there to finish off the kill. And look at this.
They're going in again.
He's going to go Blink as his next item. Oh, this is a ridiculously aggressive set that TFT are trying to run.
But look at his cooldown. He almost has the Omni Slash again. If it wins him this fight, it's worth it. Can you buy enough time?
I don't know if he can get back quite in time, but I mean, TFT
they're not doing fast. NIP are not quick enough for this. They still have the egg as well. That's what they're worried about. NIP just have to give it up. Question is, can TFT afford to go in now?
This is a... I mean, I guess he's got Empower, right? He can still farm. It's not as all in as it otherwise would be, but man, That is an aggressive jug build.
I think the problem is how hard Ace wanted that kill on the Frost. That bought them a good 20 seconds at least.
Yeah.
It forced them away from the Roche pit. And look at this. 90 seconds ago, Johannes Fan was a dead man. And this Roche looked like it was going NIP's way, but now...
I mean, they have all their stuff, and they know Reapers is down.
Yeah, but so there, the Stampede comes in, the Horn again, they're going for this Avalanche, going to be their toss coming through. Centaur getting low, the RP as well. Who got the Aegis? It's Frost. He picks it up, part of the Shallow Grave to keep him alive for a little bit. Now the Ghost Shroud coming out, trying to stay in this. We'll move away, the Sunray burning up, going to find another. Scythe goes down. Not enough to kill off Chessie, though. Avalanche stun up PBD and Saxon. They're going to chase through, looking for Fado, turn around, take PBD instead. Frost, he decides they've done enough. They take two, they take three, they lose two. And they get their hands on that Aegis.
Yeah, and they're gonna get the Aegis. They're gonna get the tier 1 mid tower. It's just I don't know. I guess as NIP, you feel like you have to contest it there because you see the aggressive item builds coming out from the side of the final tribe. You know just how much damage they can do your side of the map if they win that fight. But man, that you saw Reaper side did eventually come up, but it was down for a good portion of the beginning of that fight, so they were a little bit limited on who they could go on.
I mean, everything came back up, right? The Horn was there. But you've got to know, if you've got Horn, there's going to be an RP available again. But you could see, it just feels like NIP, you could feel they were desperate for that. They needed it.
Yeah.
I'll take that as tribute for me.
Well, another thing to highlight, like, we haven't talked too much about items, but I do want to just highlight Juggernaut. We see a lot of them go for Battle Fury. This Sanjin Yasha was the perfect call. Not only did it keep him alive when he almost died to Ace, it's just enabled him to get around the map along with his Blink Dagger and engage.
Oh, in this particular game, when you're playing against the Spectre with a Magnus on your team, like I'm sorry, if you go Battle Fury in this particular game as Juggernaut, I'm like, oh, I'm reporting you. That's just, it's kind of game losing.
You're doubling down on something you don't need, basically.
Well, no, there are some of like the great Chinese cores that will still go Battle Fury on Juggernaut with a Magnus on their side, but again, their team's rotations are so heavily optimized around their farm, and I think you watch that and you don't necessarily appreciate like how many things they have to do to enable that build.
Yeah, I think even then it's like if you actually looked at some of the way he clears creeps and the speed at which she clears camps, if you went Battle Fury on top of the Empower, I think you're actually not getting better gains than if you have a Blink and a like Yasha for the mobility. Between camps.
And by the way, look at, for the third game in a row, we're going to talk about the critical importance of this. That dire tower triangle.
33.
Jesse's he's got a TD rune. Okay.
Oh, they don't just get one, they get two. 33 tried to stampede himself to safety, but it didn't matter. They had the stun timing on the Inkswell.
Wow.
Well,
I mean, TFT for the second game in a row, they're just finding the fights that they need on the map.
Definitely. TFT's rate of adjustment to the playstyle of NIP has been phenomenal in this series so far.
Yeah, it's adjustment both to the playstyle of the opposing side and to the new patch, taking advantage of the power curves of their heroes very effectively with these early stat builds. I mean, Tiny, built multiple. Hey guys, we nerfed Aquila. Yay! Oh wait,
I need attack speed.
Multiple wraith bands.
You wonder what he'd be building. Now you know the answer.
And this is a credible high ground push, by the way.
Oh, Avalanche toss back. Lena's a little bit deep. Saxon can't escape. Phantom's embrace because he can't even cast.
Godlike is Frost on the Juggernaut. I thought they were going to go that direction even earlier in the series, but you have to when you're scouting this team. You have to know that it's just such a comfort hero for him.
Oh, Chessie couldn't get close enough. But I was gonna say, look at this distance. There's always PBD behind 33 for good reason. With Frost having that Blink Dagger, they know he has Omni Slash, and if Centaur gets caught, he probably dies here. Oh, Horn coming in, looking to make the move right now. The Blade Fury's already going. They can't actually do anything against him. RP, control up. Ace on the back foot, looking to kill the Handskin. Now the Omni Slash comes out. PBD and 4-bit keeps Sparta alive. The Ghost Shroud is activated as well. And look, the Link, egg gets dropped. They need to turn around, but they can't. Stop through. It doesn't matter. 33 and Ace. They might be going down. The tree toss through won't even get the kill as Era is the one that burns out the Spectre. And
wow, and that's Elena Rax at 23 minutes against a top 6 team at the previous major here.
That's not just one lane. Look at this.
This is insane. And no, it's going to be multiple lanes. And dare we point out, the loser of this match is going to be facing Vega for their tournament lives.
And not only that, but if TFT pull off a win here, you're going to go into a series against Team Liquid. You'd usually be scared as all hell. But when you've been playing like this, when you've been looking this confident, that is such an advantage against a big player like Team Liquid.
No, I mean, at least if you go off recent form, right? Fine, they were playing with a stand-in, but NIP's recent form has looked a hell of a lot more scary than Liquid. Boy, oh boy.
Worrisome times for NIP as they only have one lane left, protected by that tier 2. If that tier 2 hadn't been there, your whole base wouldn't be there.
Boy, and it's one of those things where if Spectre had like, you know, 1,000, 2,000 more gold, you'd feel a whole heck of a lot better about things, because Spectre with Diffusal now could win you a fight, but she's still like, you know, a quarter of the way there at most.
I like just looking at 33 and seeing he's stacked a bunch of braces in his Dubai.
Yeah, you know.
What you replacing, buddy?
New meta.
Hey, it's all about
I mean,
the beautiful little magic resistance.
You just have no plays at this point if you're NIP. I mean, TFT just have so many different things that they can do with their lineup.
Absolutely. And final, our tower has fallen. What will TFT do next is the real question. They'll take out the shrine. Maybe they just go, nope. They see Dazzle.
Oh, no.
He was trying to go for a D-Ward maybe, but he won't get it.
That's hashtag support life, man.
Wait.
What are you going to do?
Look at these. Actually, have you seen this? These two orbs together he placed? I think PBD misclicked.
Yeah, that's like, I'm getting wards out, guys. I'm doing my job.
Oh, Saxai's getting low here. Oh, he tosses the tree inside. He finds it. Omnislash coming out now. The buyback there. The horn's been used. And look at this. Sparta attacking. The whole thing gets crossed. The Blade Fury to move away quickly to get back to his team. They still have the egg to work with and the RP, though.
Yeah, I think they can hard commit here and get megas.
They can.
They may not choose to because it's still a little risky.
Stomp coming in, trying to fight Avalanche. Perfectly placed. Lena gone. That's a dieback. On the side, Potter in a lot of trouble here. He has got the Ghost Shroud to work with, but no. He's silenced up. Blade Fury will run him down. Buyback comes out, but Lena doesn't have one of those to work with. Already committed it.
I mean, they do have to be a little bit careful. Fada still has his scythe up.
Oh, Avalanche again. Chessie, this man knows no mercy. 33.
All right.
Not enough braces.
That will do it.
Skewering, Johansson fan. He still has the RP. He wants one good one before the game ends. Sime's going to be there. It's not enough. The Sunray keeping alive. RP controlling the Spectre. They don't care about the plate mail. They'll run him down as GG gets called. And NIP, they will be fighting for their life against Vega. And TFT, they're going to see if they can slay Liquid next as well.
Well played indeed. This was really good Dota by the Final Tribe. And you can say what you want about the new patch. You can and NIP just couldn't adjust with their drafts. Man, that
Spidey senses thinking. They knew exactly what was going.
Oh, there's Agnes on tight. Yeah, so the armor is gonna be reduced a bit on that timber all the time, most likely, and it's gonna be pushed back. So.
There it is. Fear comes out before the stomp, and now the silence. Everything dropped on the timber saw, but to finish off Sableye first. Snowball across, over towards Supreme, actually also bringing Zai with him as Suhiro's down. They're just running right over them. They Delta split for the Chain Frost, will be absolutely fine. Wolf himself, I mean, right-click and washed to death, I guess. Oh, the shots! Almost caught Z in there. They would find a way around, but the Absolute pressing a few spells. Ouch.
Just disappears. I mean, that's the issue, right? This is basically what we said a minute ago. What happens if they just ignore this timber and kill everyone else? You don't have to force yourself onto killing this timber saw. You just clean his team up, and then maybe you take him down. It's possible if he's alone.
Daylight with the Stampede, thinking about trying to find a link stomp there, but not have really done too much.
They just realized the way they had to team fight, and that's exactly what happened there. If you noticed, they take down, I don't know who it was, Centaur first, and then they instantly snowball through Timbersaw onto Lina. They ignore Timbersaw, and if they do that, they can just take a clean fight. And sadly it seems that they have found a solution to their Timbersaw problem. Sadly for Hippomaniacs, that is.
Just got knocked down.
Well, they get tier 2, and whatever momentum they lost, they regain it. They can just take all the time in the world, all the time that they need. They've got the puppy, push the bottom just a little bit, wrestle them, playing that last remaining out of tier tower for that. Start thinking about going high grounds. I mean, you have Aegis on Nisha, who is hitting pretty damn hard, by the way. Chrysalis, the mini crit, the Monkey King bar. 2 more Wraith bands in the backpack, just in case he's he needs them, like, build one of them.
And the issue is Lone Druid is gonna have that Daedalus very soon as well. He's gonna hit so hard that I think Timber isn't gonna be able to. Isn't gonna be able to stand in front any longer. And if he cannot, then definitely no one in his team can. So.
The hero is under attack.
Try and
Dire's bottom tower is about to
play better even than he played in the last game when he turned it around. Secret. Gotta hope for more mistakes here. They might be able to find a bear, but no stun. Comes through on Curry. Still chasing though. Supreme wants something.
There's a bear behind you. Maybe take that down now.
Find a Yulsi on Marana, but the Saboteur comes through. The BKB showing up for mid one. Sableye realized that he's done goofed here. The grave will delay this a little bit further. And Supreme just being leaped on by mid one here. Gets a few spells, so he's actually still alive. What the hell? What else is happening here? Chain Frost comes through, but a bunch of creeps will soak it up. Puppy with that stun here, interrupting that Curry Timber Chain, and now perfect combo with the shots, with the Mystic Flare.
And the Bloodstone didn't work versus the Vessel as well, right? Like the Vessel just stopped the heals. He tried to use it, but it didn't.
Loves the Rabbi that comes through. Thinking about backing off, but then they realize, no, wait a second, we're still strong, aren't we? Yeah, sure, why not? Curry. Right-click swords in. The half health, not many reactive armor stacks, so this is where he's still vulnerable.
Dire's bottom
I have the dash wave coming through and everybody. They do lose the bear, Supreme stamps it down, but slowly surely working away. Oh, what the hell?
Lich managed to creep skip.
Life down here.
I don't know what he's still doing though. He should have ported out. They might catch him here now. Nah. Just gonna let him be. If he goes for the wave though.
Right the case, so he's actually setting up for Titan. The rest of them starting to come back in. They don't have enough damage. I know it just sets up for that Ravage into the double Mystic Flare. Lich is down, buys back immediately, but now Curry also super low. Same for Sableye. Further chase, at least not really fast, but they just keep going in here. I'm not sure about this one. Shelgar keeps him safe. Meanwhile, though, the root, perfect timing on the Supreme. It's just a little bit more than enough, but Curry took advantage of it. Nisha also very low with the Aegis. Not a big trigger now, a minute before it was out anyway. Curry now still super low. Sableye tries to buy some space with a blink stomp, but caught by the shots.
And that's just so much damage from the lone druid. He does lose that to Aegis though, but I think you've effectively wasted every single buyback that you had, right? So, yeah, you did. So no one has a buyback on the side of... There's that.
They held onto the racks, right?
Further and just wait for next stages. I sincerely doubt that that's what's on Secret's mind. I think that they're gonna try and go and just close this game out very soon because they understand that they have no buybacks.
Haste.
Lit up right now. No, doesn't get going on though. Not a lot of intelligence here for Hippomaniacs. It's one more that they have in a high ground on the other side of the map. Not really all that helpful right now, but oh god, they still actually find Puppey. Sinister Gaze, keeping him close, but oh, so much damage done by the Scarab. Still the Shrine active. They're ready to go with another wave. Tough buying back into this fight. They're back after to go back in here. The Curry and Sableye, they're committed, and I think they realized the mistake a little bit too late, but they still stomp up Mirana, done half health before. Mid one gets a BKB off, no snowball. I'm not sure what that was about, but Curry finds another Timber Chain. Not Zeni here so far.
Yeah, just the Dazzle was lost and he's up in 20 seconds anyway.
Thanks you.
But still, this is a full 5-man lineup. Full health, full mana for the most part.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Tower. Shield will not make this easy though, even with the bear, of course, still. The bear focus build here, but Savage Roar still is quite effective.
Yeah, the problem is the Frost Shield has a slight cooldown, so they still do have that opening, that small little time in between.
Dire's
briefly here, but fresh movement coming in. They get rid of the tier 3. The biggest of deals since they've already lost one of them elsewhere.
Dark light.
They are just falling back. Rush is up in 1 minute and 40 seconds.
Yeah, thanks.
So perhaps they wait for that. They take down the stop shrine as it's basically the gateway for Hippos to defend the rush. But they don't really have any buybacks, so they're just gonna smoke up. This is basically their last effort. Go Hippos, I believe in you. Go.
Here to find Yapso and Blink Stomp connects here. The Ravager returns all around. Mid one ready to go. Muffus Dead Souls, Lina. They did get Yapso, but what cost? Same light. Shellowgrave comes out of nowhere here. Zany, his last gift to his friend, but it's only going to delay the inevitable. And this is Timbersaw caught by the ice shots. Tries to.
That's GG.
Full 5-man
I mean,
wipe to end the game in the series.
I had to respect that last effort, right? It was brave. They tried to smoke up. They tried to do something. They didn't just hide in their base and wait for the inevitable to happen. Like, really impressed by Hippos and the way they played throughout this best of 3 in every single game. I think here and there they had some draft